Hello, welcome to Verbling. Hi there, I am teacher Oakley, and for the next hour or so, we're going to fool around with some what are called ergative verbs. Basically, these are verbs that can take an object or not take an object, in which case they describe what the subject is doing. We're going to look at some of these verbs and basically form sentences, and by doing so, I'm sure that many of you will learn some vocabulary and get the general idea. The idea is to get the general idea of the types of verbs that can be used with the transitive or intransitive. Anyway, that's the mission, so to speak. Welcome to the class, Jose. How are you?
I'm great, sir. How are you doing? Thanks for asking.
I'm doing okay, thank you. It's only 9 in the morning, and here in the Philippines where I am, it is really hot. It's already like 37, and it's gonna get hotter. So
It's no different. No different from here. Years old is the same here in Brazil.
really, yeah. Whew. It's gonna be a hot one. But anyway, I'm doing well, Jose, and it's nice to see you again.
Yeah,
Uh,
nice to see you too.
Welcome, Jonathan. Hello, Jonathan.
Hi, teacher. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Oh, I am well, thank you.
Glad to hear it. Okay, welcome to the class, and hello, Heidi.
Hello, nice to see you again.
Thank you. Nice to have you here. Okay, lady and gentlemen. All right. Now, the title of this class is, maybe it sounds like, ooh, what's that? Ergative verbs. You know, honestly, it's really not that important. It's quite simple, actually. You probably have heard of transitive and intransitive verbs. If not, well, let me explain. Uh, okay, ergative verbs, simply put, okay, ergative verbs are verbs that can be transitive and intransitive. They can be both. So, what is a transitive verb? A transitive verb, noun plus a verb plus a noun. The first noun is your subject noun. All sentences in English must have a subject noun. All sentences in English must have a verb, of course. But it is not necessary to have an object. Now, transitive verbs, some verbs must always have an object. They have to have an object. They cannot be used without an object. Okay, so that's called a transitive verb. It must have an object. So Peter closed the door. Peter is the subject. He does the action. The action is close. And who or what does the action happen to? The object, the door. All right. Opposite, clearly, transitive, intransitive. The opposite is an intransitive verb. We have our subject, noun, and verb. As I said, a sentence, in order to be a sentence in English, must have those two elements and must be a complete idea. A sentence, if I try to make a sentence, sometimes I sleep and I stop. Okay, I have a subject, I, and a verb, sleep. But I've used a time descriptor, a time word, or a time phrase to say sometimes I sleep. So the sentence actually doesn't make sense now without some help. So that's not a sentence. Anyway, more importantly, transitive verbs must have an object. Intransitive verbs, actually, on the other hand, take no object. There are some verbs in English. There's really not that many, but there are some verbs in English which do not, cannot, must not ever take an object. And also phrasal verbs. There's actually quite a few phrasal verbs which are intransitive. An example would be eat out. All right, when you go to a restaurant, you eat somewhere outside of your house. You can't have an object with that verb phrase or that phrasal verb. I'm going to eat out dinner. No, that doesn't make sense. You can't say that. I'm going to eat out restaurant. No, 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 no. I'm going to eat out the restaurant. I'm going to eat out the dinner. I'm going to eat out the Chinese food. No, no, and no. Actually, that verb is intransitive. You cannot ever have an object. Ergative, very simple, are the verbs that can be either. Just as easily, just as grammatically correctly. So, for example, close. All right. Perfectly normal, grammatically okay to say subject, verb, object, Peter closed the door, or subject, verb, the door closed. That is a complete sentence. It's a complete idea. Of course, when you use the intransitive of an ergative verb, the door closed, obviously the door is the one doing the action. Clearly, obviously. So don't confuse that with a passive form, all right, because it is not. This is an active sentence. Another one, and we'll explore this a little bit, and maybe you'll learn some vocabulary. Boiled. There are a lot of words that have to do with cooking, which can be transitive or intransitive. That is one of our big groups of ergatives. All right. Here's an example. I boiled a pan of water. The pan boiled. Actually, for me, this is slightly weird, the intransitive here. I would say the water boiled, or whatever I'm trying to boil. The soup boiled. The pan isn't really boiling. For me, that's a little weird. I don't know. But anyway, regardless, the soup boiled is still an intransitive use of the ergative verb. Okay. Let's see if you guys, what I want you guys to try to do is the same thing that you see here with these two examples, boiled and closed. We're going to look at some verbs and, look, many, and see if you guys can come up with some sentences with both actually two sentences. Let's see if you can come up with a sentence with an object and a sentence without an object for these different verbs that makes sense. Here's some more examples. So, for example, with break. Okay. I broke the glass. Okay, that's obviously subject, verb, object, or transitive. I dropped the glass and it broke. Okay, here is one way that we may see an intransitive, or in this case, ergative, in the intransitive, verb used with another phrase. Okay, obviously, and it broke. Okay, I dropped the glass. Dropped takes the object, the glass, and then we have a compound sentence with and it broke. So it is the second subject in this compound sentence, and broke is now used in an intransitive way without an object. Okay. All right, started. The referee blew his whistle and started the match. All right, obviously the match is in fact the referee blew his whistle and started the match. Okay, here we have a simple sentence with one subject and two verbs. The referee blew, the referee started. All right, so this is a simple sentence, SVV, subject, verb, verb. Okay, blew his whistle has an object, started the match. Okay, the match is the referee started the match. All right, second object. All right, the match started at 2:30. There you go. Notice if we're talking about the match when I broke the glass, I dropped the glass and it broke. I could phrase these two different ways, but notice that I'm using the object of the transitive sentence to actually make my sentence with the intransitive sentence, right? Because the action is actually happening to the subject. The match started. Similarly, we grew some tasty potatoes. All right, we grew potatoes. Great. The potatoes, now I move the object from the first sentence to potatoes were growing well. All right, with an adjective. Here's the subject, intransitive verb, and then an adjective. Here's another sort of sentence structure which is very common with the intransitive form. Okay, obviously these sentences mean the same thing. The wind shook the trees. The trees shook in the wind. Okay, a prepositional phrase here. This is not an object. This is a prepositional phrase. So again, either one of these, we know that in fact, what's shaking? The trees. Okay, that's the idea. Now, enough of me talking. Let's have you guys try this out. Okay, Jose, you were here first. Can you give me a sentence, a transitive sentence with an object? Simple. Just keep it simple. Don't hurt yourself. Jose, are you there? Hello, Vu, by the way. Just want to say quickly
Hi,
hello to
teacher.
Vu. Hi, how are you?
I'm good, teacher. Very good.
Very good. Jose, are you there? Not really. Okay. Vu, can you try to make a transitive sentence with begin? In other words, subject, verb, object sentence.
Uh, Tomorrow I begin studying my English class at 8 a.m.
Okay. Tomorrow I begin studying. That's an adjective gerund phrase. Something class. Okay. Okay, I begin class. Okay. Complicated, but yes, there's an object there. Had to think about that. Okay, how about an intransitive?
Intransitive. The football match was began at 7 o'clock.
Okay. Well, I don't know what was began. I don't know why you need the verb to be. Was begun? Oh, was begun.
Yes.
Okay, but now you're using begun as an adjective, right? You can just say began.
Begin.
Began.
Began.
Yeah, past tense. The football match began at 7 o'clock.
Oh, yes.
That would work. Okay. Okay. We already saw an example of break. Let's try change. Heidi, can you try one with change? Try a transitive with an object. Sorry.
I changed a subject of our conversation.
I changed the subject of our conversation. Okay. I, subject, changed, verb, the subject. Object. Very good. Okay, how about an intransitive sentence with no object?
Subject changed what I didn't know.
One more time.
Subject changed suddenly.
Ah, very good. The subject changed suddenly. Whoops. Changed suddenly. Ah, very good. Okay. Excellent. So, very good. The subject changed suddenly. Yes, they're ending with an adverb, actually, to modify the verb. All right. And very good. That is excellent. That's an intransitive form. Jonathan. Okay, we already talked about. Saw examples of close.
Okay.
Let's try drop. Why not?
Drop. Let me see the meaning of drop.
Sorry. Drop. Try dropped with an object, a transitive form.
Okay. I drop the item.
Okay. Simple enough. I dropped the item. Okay, the item is an object.
It's object.
All right. Okay, and try an intransitive without the object.
Okay. Oh, it's difficult, teacher. With drop, let me think.
Well, you can just take your last sentence, actually.
Okay.
Keep it simple. Okay, I dropped the item, and now use your object as the subject.
Okay. The item is drop.
The item dropped.
Drop. Yeah.
Yeah, you're concerned about making it passive. I can tell because you got. I think so was Vu. You guys are worried about. Okay, so the action's going to happen to the subject. I need to make it passive, but in fact, you don't. Using an intransitive form of the verb, you don't need the verb to be. It is perfectly correct to say the item dropped.
Oh, okay. I got it.
You can even use double. The item dropped and broke. Double intransitive verb. Simple sentence with two verbs. Okay? Do you see? Okay. Very, very good. Jose, are you there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yes, sir. I was asleep for a while.
It's okay.
Sorry.
All right. Jose, you
Yep.
try making a sentence with crack.
Okay.
Hopefully,
Let's see.
you know the meaning.
Okay,
With an object.
crack. Okay. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I can't crack your password.
What? One more time.
I can crack your password.
You can crack my
Password.
password.
Password. Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to think of a part of my body you were going to crack, but okay, I can crack your password. All right, very good. Subject, verb, object. Okay, now try an intransitive sentence with crack.
Okay. My computer password has been cracked yesterday.
Okay, now that is a passive form. My computer password was cracked yesterday.
Was cracked yesterday.
Okay, now you're making a passive form. All right, so that is different. Okay, you're using the verb to be to create a passive. Notice in all our, it broke. The match started. Okay, well, we're growing, but that's because we need the verb to be for the continuous form. Okay. The tree shook. Notice there's no verb to be in any of our examples. These are not passive forms of these examples.
Okay, great. Okay, let
Okay.
me try another.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. The class is correct.
The what?
Correct. The class is correct.
The class?
Yes, correct.
The class cracked?
Oh yeah, let's say class is correct.
Wait
I
a
have
minute.
okay.
Like this? The class cracked?
Oh, sorry, mispronounced. I mispronounced. Glass. The glass.
The glass. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Very good. You guys, you should know. I was asking that. Cracked can be used as an adjective, and if someone is cracked, it means they're slightly crazy. Cracked, or possibly another phrase might be. This is an adjective now. Cracked in the head. Okay, if someone's cracked in the head, they're cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. They're a little crazy.
Oh man.
Okay, so I thought Jose was saying that the glass was crazy, but you know, okay. The glass cracked. That's fine. There you go. That's it.
The
Very
glass
simple.
cracked.
That's perfect. That's fine. Okay. Let's try one more round of this type of word. Okay. Vu, dry.
Dry. The um, the glass dry. Oh, sorry, teacher. Dry is a verb.
It can be.
Oh,
In fact, when you take a bath or a shower, you dry yourself with a towel.
oh yes, yes. Hmm. So, sorry, teacher. I have no idea with dry.
Well, okay. Um, okay. Uh, I,
I
I,
can help you.
you can. Great. Okay, Jonathan. Go
Okay,
ahead.
I will
Please.
try. The desert is dry.
Oh, well, now that is an adjective. The desert is dry. Okay. Here you are using the verb to be as an intransitive, and actually this bears talking about. The verb to be is totally the verb to be is everything, right?
Okay.
It is an ergative because it can be transitive, it can be intransitive. It can be used with continuous tenses, or it can be a non-continuous verb, which cannot be used with continuous tenses. The verb to be goes all over the place and does basically every rule that applies to any kind of verb. You can talk about the verb to be. You are using the verb to be, which is an ergative, as an intransitive verb. And you're using dry actually as an adjective, a describer, to describe the desert, right?
Uh, I, I I have a, a sentence.
Great.
Yes. Um, I try my hair.
Very good.
Um, the chance intransitive. Mm,
What? I dried my hair in Chung City?
No, teacher. I dry my hair is the example
Oh,
for sensitive.
transitive.
Yeah.
Yes, right. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes. And intransitive?
Intensity, can I say my class dry?
My
My glass,
glass?
yes.
Dried.
My
Well,
glass
not
dry.
really. We don't really consider a glass as getting wet. Uh, think about something that gets wet. You know, go again, like I
Wet.
told Jonathan, use your object from your last sentence. I
Mm.
dried my hair. All right. Just use the object there. As
Uh,
in, my hair
yes.
dried.
My
That's it.
hair dry.
My hair dried.
Can you write
It's fine.
sentence in this sentence in Google in document?
Mm-hmm. My hair dried. Okay, and maybe you add an adverb or something. My hair dried quickly. All right, well, there you go. That is an dried. Use as an intransitive. This sentence is perfectly correct. It is not a passive, and yet, what is drying? Of course, it's your hair.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
So
Okay, understand, teacher.
okay. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Heidi?
Yeah.
All right, let's
And
end.
I
Yeah, sure,
I
and
ended our relationship.
okay, very good. All right,
And next,
yes.
you are too late. Our class has already ended.
Our class has already ended. Has ended. Okay, you're using a present perfect tense, but yes, you're using it in the intransitive form. Very good. Okay, actually, just so everyone can see that, that's a great example. Our class has already ended. Okay, has ended is the actual form, which is meaning up to now. This is present perfect, but yeah, obviously there's no object. Excellent example of another verb tense. Okay, great. Jonathan, why don't you try one more? Let's see. In this group, let's see. Go ahead, try move.
Okay. They move to the party.
They moved to the party.
Yeah.
Question, Jonathan. Is that a transitive or an intransitive?
This is a transitive.
Boy, is it? They moved to the party is in fact to the party is a prepositional phrase. So there actually is no object here. Actually, this is a perfectly good example of an intransitive sentence.
Intransitive.
Yes, and often an intransitive verb form will be followed by a prepositional phrase to indicate place or time. Okay, they moved at 4 o'clock, for example. They moved to the party. Okay, that's an intransitive. All right. How about a transitive with an object? Transitive form.
Okay. The boat moved to the lake.
The what?
The boat Move to the lake. The boat. Boat.
The bald?
Boat. Yeah. No, no. Boat.
Bowl?
Like boat. No. I copy for you in the verb link chat. No, Google
Okay.
chat.
I am
Okay.
lost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you see?
No, not yet. Hang on, I
In
have
the
to.
Google chat.
Google.
Okay, the boat.
Boat. Boat.
Ah, yes. Totally did not hear. Uh, the boat. Because I did not hear the boat.
It's
The boat
the boat. The boat.
moved. Well, there again, you're going to need a prepositional phrase. The boat moved in the lake, or to. Yeah, again, that's a prepositional phrase. Think of it more of moving well, strangely enough, moving an object. All right. The boat. What does a boat move? Well, forget about a boat. With an object, okay, I moved the desk. Simple.
Okay.
Okay. So I made something else move with the object, right? That's the whole idea. Transitive, intransitive. Transitive, I did an action to something else. Intransitive, I did an action, or subject did an action. Okay, let's examine another common type of a category where you have ergative verbs, verbs that can either be used with or without an object. Okay. For example, some examples: roast. You should roast the meat at 200 centigrade. The meat was roasting in a hot oven. Okay, again, this is not passive. The verb to be is there because of the continuous. I always defrost meat before I cook it. Ooh. Many of my students don't know the meaning of this. What is defrost? Anybody?
Maybe
Yeah.
when you took out the meat from your freezer.
Very good. Do you know another word? Here, okay. This because of so many people find this confusing. Some people try to actually not just students, second language students, but many. This is kind of funny. Many native speakers try to use instead of defrost, they try to use unthaw. I unthaw the meat, which is totally stupid. Okay, wrong. This is wrong. You will hear native speakers say this. Actually, this is a very common mistake. Actually, the verb is thaw, not unthaw. Thaw is to make room temperature from frozen, just like defrost. Okay, same meaning, thaw. So you can't unthaw anything. That would mean you freeze it, I guess. Very common mistake. Anyway, I am waiting for the meat to defrost. Okay, intransitive form at the end of the sentence. Very good. Melt the chocolate and pour it over the ice cream. Oh yeah, sounds good. The chocolate was melting in a pan, followed by a prepositional phrase, not an object. All right. And we can make sure we'll try a few of these, make sure we know what they mean. Vu. Try bake.
With the two sentences.
Yes.
I bake my cake in my oven.
I bake my cake in the oven. Okay, very good. All right. Intransitive.
Um, my cake baked in my oven.
My cake baked in
Baked.
my oven. Okay. Sure. All right. Be careful of pronunciation there, Vu.
Yes, yes.
Baked. A baked.
Bake.
Oh,
Bake.
sounds like you're saying bike. Okay. Bake. A.
Bake.
A.
Bake.
Can you say A? Say this letter. What is this letter?
I.
No, it is not I. You're saying I. That is not the letter I. No, no, no. That is A. A.
I. I.
A. A.
I.
Hey.
I.
A.
I.
It comes from deep, more back in your throat. Okay. A.
I.
Wow. You got to practice that, Vu. You really do.
Yes.
Because that's going to mess you up quite a bit. Okay. A.
Okay.
Yes. Much. It's a very tense sound. Okay. Here.
Hey.
For Vu's
Hey.
sake, let me demonstrate so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. A. Like how tight my face muscles are. It's a tense vowel. A. I smile. Smile when you say that. E. Okay. A.
Hey.
Very similar to E, but my mouth is open more. A.
Hey.
A. And the sound is coming from quite far back in my throat. All right.
Oh,
Okay. Anyway.
Thank
All
you,
right.
teacher.
It's okay. We're here to learn English. Okay. Bake. Okay, Heidi. Try freeze.
Freeze. Okay, your cool attitude freezed my mind.
Your cool attitude probably freezes because it's singular. Your attitude freezes my mind, right? Especially since you said freeze my mind, it sounds like freeze. Freeze my mind.
Freeze.
Okay, it sounded like this. Your cool attitude freeze my mind. That's what it sounded like. Okay, which is funny. But not freeze.
Freeze.
Yeah, so it definitely, see what problems that can cause? You have to have the correct subject-verb agreement. Freezes. Freezes my mind. Okay, okay. That's an interesting sentence, but perfectly correct in the transitive. Okay, can you make a intransitive?
I put the fish in my freezer 2 hours ago, so the fish is freezing now.
The fish is freezing, or the fish is frozen.
Fish,
Freeze, froze, frozen.
fish is freezing, or fish freezed enough.
Yeah, but fish is frozen. That would be.
No, it's adjective.
Yeah, that's right.
So
It is.
fish is freezing, or fish already.
The fish is freezing now. Okay, the fish. Okay, I get it. You're using a present continuous tense. Yeah. Okay, I get it. I get it. I get it. The fish is freezing. Okay. With a continuous tense, like that, to simplify it. Right. Okay. Very good. Jonathan, you want to try melt? Melt.
Okay, teacher. Your ice cream melted in your hands.
Well, that is intransitive. in your hands. Again, you're using a prepositional phrase.
Melt.
Your ice cream melted in your hands. Okay, that's a perfect example of an intransitive. How about using an object?
Y
Oh, yeah. Okay, turn it around. Okay, the ice cream melted in your hands. Okay, how about your hot hands
uh-huh.
melted the ice cream? Very often you can turn these sentences around. Just reverse,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Okay. Your hot hands melted the ice cream. All right. Your uh, your wonderful attitude melted my heart. Okay. Never mind. Okay. Stop it. Okay. All right. Now, other verbs, another set of verbs which are commonly used with or without an object. In other words, they are ergative verbs, are verbs that have to do with vehicles and transportation, crash, drive, fly, reverse. I'm learning to fly a plane. Excellent. All right, the plane flew at twice the speed of sound, a prepositional phrase. There you go. He crashed his car into a tree. All right, his car crashed into a tree. Very good. Okay, note this. These ergative verbs, it is still possible to make them passive. All right, I can say the plane was flown at twice the speed of sound. That makes it passive. His car was crashed into a tree. Okay. By the car thief, whatever. It's still possible, but it's not. It may not be necessary. It would definitely change the meaning. Okay, slightly. Sometimes maybe it wouldn't. Sometimes maybe it would change the meaning by making it a passive form. His car was crashed into a tree. Okay, there's more emphasis that somebody did it. His car crashed into a tree. Okay, the emphasis is that the action crash happened to his car. All right. The plane was flown at twice the speed of sound. Okay. Fine. The plane flew at twice the speed of sound. Okay, there's not much difference in the intransitive form and the passive there. Okay. Anyway, let's try a few sentences that have to do with vehicles. Is it vehicles or vehicles? That depends where you're from. Okay. Americans definitely say vehicles with a silent H. Some Brits will say vehicles,
Vehicle.
which sounds totally weird to me, but I'm an American. Okay. So say vehicles. It's better. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Vu. All right. Back. Back.
Back. I think it is preposition.
It could be a preposition. It could be a noun. Okay. On the opposite side of your stomach is your back. Right? That's part of your body. Your back could be a noun. Right?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Um,
It can
I
also
bike.
be
I,
especially think about vehicles.
yes, vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
My car bike to the right side of the garden. My car bike to the right side of the garden.
My car
My car
backed
bike back to
to. Okay, preposition.
the right right side of
Right
of,
side up.
of the garden.
The what?
Garden.
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 What are you doing with your car in the garden? Okay. I think Vu's not a very good driver. Keeping your car out of the garden there, buddy. Yeah. Okay, well, we obviously have a subject backed, but then we have two prepositional phrases to the right side and of the garden. So
Yes.
there is no object here.
Yes.
But that is the idea. Yeah, that's how you use back as a verb. That is correct. Now, how on earth could you use back with an object?
Uh, I bike I bike my pen into my bag.
What? I back
I bike my pen.
my pen?
Yes,
My
my
pen?
pen into my bag. 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 B-A-G. Bag.
B-A-G?
Yes.
Bag.
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 Uh,
Back, bag. Same A sound there. I
yeah.
backed my pen into my bag. Okay. That is... Okay, you're definitely got a subject and an object, but I'm not sure what that means. This is a very odd use of this verb. I don't know how you back a pen. I don't know how you do that. Okay. Just, looking at... I don't think this sentence is possible, Vu. I don't know how
Yes.
you back a pen into a bag. I don't even know what that means. But looking at your first sentence, okay, I backed my car to the right side of the garden. All right? I backed my car. Simple as that. Subject, verb, object. All right?
Mm,
And then we turn it around. We use I backed my car backed. All right? You can switch the sentences around, but just by taking the object of the transitive sentence and using it as the subject of the intransitive. It's usually the simplest way to deal with it.
uh,
Okay, just for fun, Heidi, why don't you crash something? Heidi, can you crash?
Crash?
Crash.
My computer freeze, so I crashed it.
Crashed it. Okay, be careful with that. Obviously, a computer can crash. My computer crashed.
Computer crashed. Even I crashed by hammer.
Yeah, okay. But right, and I need to explain that. You do not crash something with a hammer. Okay? You're getting it confused with another word, which is similar, which is smash. You smash something with a hammer, for sure.
Mhm. But for
But
example, my computer crashed, so I
yeah,
crashed it with a hammer.
yeah, but you cannot say you can't use the verb. It doesn't mean that. Um, you crash something. It does not mean that you use a tool
Mhm.
or that you. It's generally crash.
Mhm.
First of all, is not something you do on purpose.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Teacher,
yeah,
smash slide to hit something.
hit something with something else.
Mhm.
Ah,
Because
okay, with something else. Okay,
yeah,
Okay, then I crashed the glass.
maybe one hammer.
well, crash is two objects running into each other. The car crashed into the tree.
Uh-huh.
I the the football players crashed into each other
Mhm.
in the penalty box. People run into each other. Okay, they crash, smack, possibly injuring each other. They crash into each other. All right. Um, so crash is generally unintentional. It's generally you're talking about two things running into each other.
Mhm.
He wasn't watching where he was going, and he crashed into the wall. All right. Obviously not on purpose, and he smacked into the wall, not using any tool but his own body. All right. So yes, and then of course there's crash. Your computer crashes.
Mhm.
When you
Yeah.
talk about your computer crashing, that form of the verb really, well, okay, I guess it can be, I guess it's ergative. The virus crashed my computer. Okay, it can have an object, or you can just say my computer crashed without an object, intransitive. Yeah, okay. Either way, either definition, it's an ergative verb. Yeah, sure. Okay. Okay. Hello, Nader.
Hi, how are you?
All right. Maybe I'll have time to let you try maybe
No,
one.
no, no problem. This he bagged my pen. He meant he pegged,
He, what?
pegged. This,
Peg.
this, pegged, like pegged the bag. Peg,
Oh.
pegged.
Oh, I see. Okay. So instead of backed, maybe Vu meant packed, which would make
Pegged.
sense. Okay.
Pegged.
That would make sense.
Mhm.
Okay. Maybe that's what Vu was talking about. Okay. Yes, because this sentence doesn't work. Yeah, right. Okay. Maybe that's it. Okay. Uh, Hang on, Nader. Maybe we'll give you a shot. I want Jonathan to try sail. I'm sailing away.
I sailed my boat.
Okay. All right. I sailed my boat is a transitive subject, verb, object. Okay. Nader, can you try making an intransitive sentence with sailed? Oops.
Can we say I love sailing?
I love sailing. Well, that's okay. You're using a gerund. Actually, the main verb there is love. That's a little different. So, not really. The answer? No, not really, because you're not using sail as the main verb.
Okay, when it is raining, I do not sail.
When it is raining, I do not sail. Excellent. Very good. Yeah, okay. A time phrase, and then the subject is I, and then the negative verb, do not sail. Okay, perfect. All right, and so that's what an ergative verb does. It can be used in transitive or intransitive. Uh, okay, I want to talk about one more kind of group of ergatives. Okay, things that have to do with cooking, things that have to do with travel or vehicles are very common. Also, okay, here's another weird thing. We use some ergative verbs with only a few nouns. Okay, catch. How could you use catch with clothes, Jonathan? Catch and your dress, your coat, your trousers. Actually, not. Why am I just picking on Jonathan? Anybody?
Okay.
I think for holding
Can any?
for holding dress, coat, clothes on the wall.
Okay. On the wall? No, we don't. Okay, that's all right. You hang your clothes on the
Yeah.
on a hanger. You hang. Okay, there. Hang your
Yes.
clothes on a hanger. Okay. Hang your clothes on the hanger. Okay, that has an object, but no. Catch with clothes. You catch.
Okay,
Yes.
I can have.
I can try.
Okay. Who's? All right. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Okay. I catch one spot in my clothes, in my suit. Sorry.
You caught one spot on your clothes. Nope, that's not quite
No.
it.
No.
No, Nader, do you understand why you would use this verb or how you would use this verb with clothing?
I can do with a twist. I didn't have my coat, so I caught cold.
Yeah. Okay. But much more commonly, okay? How about this? Check this out. She caught her dress on a nail. Her dress caught on a nail. Okay, when you tear your clothes, this has happened to all of us. No, there's something sticking out, and
I
you
see it.
pull your clothes, and then you actually get a tear in your clothes.
Hmm.
This happens
cut
to
it.
everyone. Yeah, you cut your clothes because you catch your clothing on something, a nail, whatever. Okay, fire with gun, pistol, rifle. He fired the rifle. The rifle fired. He play with musical instruments or CDs or MP3s, whatever. He played the guitar. The guitar played quietly. All right, very common to use in transitive or intransitive form. He rang the bell. Okay, or the bell rang. Very common to hear intransitive forms of that. The bell rang at 3 o'clock, for example. Okay, so that's basically the idea with ergative verbs. They can work either way, and with an ergative verb, very often you do not have to use a passive form. You can just use a straight up intransitive verb form to express the same idea as you would with a passive. All right, again, some verbs are always transitive, some are always intransitive, and some are ergative. They go both ways, so to speak. Okay.
Teacher, how to identify identify ergative verbs?
Yeah, well, okay. That's why we were doing what we're doing today. There's no specific way to identify it, all right? But what we were doing today, I was trying to show you that most verbs that have to do with cooking, most verbs that have to do with travel, and then at the end I showed you a few circumstances, all right? Fire with weapons, yeah. And then there's some close, open. There is no rule. They don't carry a little flag that says, I'm an ergative verb. They don't. You just have to know. Sorry to say, it's one of those things.
I have to remember or look up in the
Look up in
dictionary.
a dictionary, right, to decide if it can be used that way or not. But again, if it has to do with travel and it's a verb, if it has to do with cooking and it's a verb, the chances are extremely good that it is an ergative verb. Okay, Thank you very much. I have to go. We're way over time, and I have another class that started 2 minutes ago. So, gotta go. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
See you.